Why does a simple conversation with your husband turn into a full-blown argument? 1 minute you're talking, the next, it's a battle. Sound familiar? Hey, I'm Michael Flynn, and welcome to Relationship Reset Academy. I've spent over 10 years helping couples break free from these exhausting fights, and today, I'm going to show you how to talk to your husband without it turning into a war zone. I'm talking about simple, game-changing shifts that instantly lower defenses, stop the blame game, and actually get him to listen without shutting down. Stick around because, at the end, I'll be sharing a simple phrase that instantly lowers tension and gets your husband to actually listen. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to improve your marriage. Alright, let's get into it. Here's how to talk to your husband without it turning into a fight. Step 1. Pick the right moment. Timing isn't just important, it's everything when it comes to having a productive conversation with your husband. Think about it. If he's just walked through the door after a long day, still mentally processing work stress, that is not the time to bring up something serious. It doesn't mean your feelings don't matter. It just means your timing can make or break the conversation. Let's break this down. Imagine you're trying to have a conversation about who's responsible for certain household tasks right when he's exhausted. He might snap, not because he doesn't care, but because his brain is still shifting gears from work mode to home mode. Or let's say you're upset about something that happened earlier in the day. If you bring it up while he's preoccupied with his phone, television, or the kids, he's only half listening, which will just frustrate you even more. So what's the right time? When you're both relatively calm and not stressed out. When there are minimal distractions, no television blaring, no kids running around. When neither of you is rushing somewhere. A great strategy? Give him a heads up instead of catching him off guard. Try. Hey, I want to talk about something important. When's a good time for us to chat? This simple question gives him a chance to mentally prepare, so he's not immediately defensive. When you set the stage right, your conversation has a way better chance of going smoothly. Step 2. Skip the blame, stick to the facts. Ever notice how a conversation spirals out of control the second you start saying things like, "You never listen to me," or "You always do this"? Those words, never, and always, are like gasoline on a fire. The moment he hears them, he stops listening to your actual point and starts focusing on proving you wrong. Here's why this happens. When people feel blamed, their instinct is to defend themselves. It's not about who's right or wrong, it's just human nature. So instead of getting what you actually want, to be heard and understood, you end up in a back-and-forth argument where neither of you feels good. Here's a better approach. "You never help with the dishes." This will likely make him defensive. "I've been feeling overwhelmed with the dishes lately. Can we figure out a way to share them?" This keeps the focus on the issue, not the person. See the difference? The first one sounds like an attack. The second one keeps the focus on the issue without making him feel like he's under fire. Another trick? Stick to recent, specific examples. Instead of dragging up things from weeks or months ago, talk about something fresh. "Earlier today, I felt frustrated when I was talking and didn't feel heard. Can we talk about that?" This keeps the conversation focused on one issue, instead of letting it turn into a long list of complaints. And if you want even more strategies on how to communicate effectively in marriage, check out romancedictionary.com/marriage. The way you talk to each other can change everything, and this resource is packed with tips that actually work. The link is in the pop-up here and in the description below. Step 3. Master the art of the pause. This might be the most powerful technique you'll ever use in a conversation. Most people think good communication is about what you say, but actually, it's just as much about what you don't say. Picture this. You're having a conversation with your husband, and he says something that annoys you. Your instinct? You immediately jump in with a response. Maybe you cut him off. Maybe you say, "Yeah, but you," before he even finishes his thought. And before you know it, you're both talking over each other, not listening, and the whole conversation turns into a mess. Here's a simple fix: pause. When he finishes talking, count to 3 in your head before responding. That small moment of silence does 3 powerful things. 1. It shows him you're actually listening, which makes him more likely to listen to you. 2. It stops knee-jerk reactions. Instead of reacting emotionally, you take a second to respond thoughtfully. 3. It creates space for a real conversation. When there's a little silence, people naturally feel encouraged to fill it, which can lead to deeper, more open discussions. Try it next time. When he's talking, resist the urge to interrupt. Breathe. Pause. Let him finish completely. Then respond. At first, it might feel weird, but trust me, it works. And when he sees you listening without cutting in, he'll naturally start doing the same for you. Step 4. Use we instead of you. One tiny word can completely change the tone of your conversation. And that word? We. Think about it. When you start a sentence with you, it can easily sound like a personal attack. You never help me with anything. You don't care about my feelings. You always forget to do what I ask. Even if what you're saying is true, the way it's phrased puts him on defense. And once he's feeling defensive, he's not listening anymore. He's just waiting for his turn to fire back. Now look at what happens when you shift to we. We need to find a way to balance things at home so it's not all on one person. I want us to work together on communicating better. We should figure out a way to make sure we're both feeling heard. See the difference? Instead of you versus him, it's both of you versus the problem. That simple shift can completely change the energy of your conversation. And here's another bonus tip. Instead of accusing, try asking. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," ask, "Do you feel like we're listening to each other as much as we should?" Questions invite conversation. Accusations shut it down. Step 5. End on a positive note. Even if your conversation got a little tense, how you end it matters just as much as how you start. Think of it this way. If the last thing you say is something negative, that's what sticks in his mind. But if you wrap things up with something positive, the conversation feels productive instead of draining. A few ways to do this. I'm really glad we talked about this. I feel like we're making progress. I appreciate you listening. It means a lot. Thanks for hearing me out. I know these conversations aren't always easy. This does 2 things. 1. It reassures him that even if the topic was tough, it wasn't a fight, it was a conversation. 2. It makes it easier to have future conversations because he knows they won't always end badly. Listen, marriage doesn't have to feel like a never-ending argument. When you change the way you talk, you change the way you connect. Now, if you want to go even deeper on making your marriage stronger, head over to romancedictionary.com/marriage. It's packed with strategies that actually work. The link is in the pop-up here and in the description below. Now tell me in the comments, what's the number 1 thing you struggle with when talking to your husband? I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and check out the links in the description. There's a lot more coming your way to help you build a stronger, happier marriage. I'll see you in the next video.